صل على سيدنا محمد.
Thank you very much. As usual. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Eid Mubarak. This is, there's no adhan, no ikama for Eid, so we always just say Salatul Jamiyah, and then we get up and get ready to pray, inshallah. So Salatul Jamiyah, that means the Jami or the congregational Salat. The other thing is we can still keep some distance because you can see this old virus be going and coming. And one day everybody headed in one way, and then the next day is 2,000 people dead. So anyway, we want to, let's say we can have all the room we want. We got plenty of room in here. The next thing, I'll probably do 7 takbirs in the first rakat and 5 in the second. And so, again, Eid Mubarak, and alhamdulillah that we will. Allahu Akbar. 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 Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج الماء فجعله غثاء نحوا سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يحلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر ما يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا وللآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لا في صحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يهد على طعام المسكين فويل للمرسلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سبحان الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أستغفر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. The last Eid, this is a gift that one of the brothers, he got $30 change, and he gave us this wonderful $100 bill. If I would have went down to change it, I'd be right over in Leavenworth right now. And this is a nice brother because he stayed with us for a long time and ate up all the food and slept up all the rug space. It was wonderful. That just goes to show you, and we like him, that just goes to show you, don't take the Negro too serious. And just because you do him well, don't hope he'll respond correctly, but don't sweat it. That's one of the things that we want to deal with today. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ahmaduhu wasta'inuhu wastadihi wastaghfiruhu wa umminu bihi jalla wa ala wa la akfuruhu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Arsalahu bil huda wa din al haq liyudhhiruhu ala din kullihi wallahu karihal mushrikun. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help, His assistance, and His guidance. We believe in Him and do not disbelieve in Him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His servant and messenger. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna Ibrahim kana umatan kanitan lillahi hanifan walam yaku min al-mushrikeen. Today, of course, we celebrate the Eid is the Eid of qurbani, of sacrifice. And Prophet Ibrahim is the star of this. And his son Ismail, their interaction with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what this is revolving around. So in this case, and this is a message for then, and it's a message for all time. And I take it as something that we should definitely be aware of in our time. Inna Ibrahima kana umatan. This is speaking of one person at this time. So classically, we could say that in this time, Ibrahim might be the only one worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the only, right? That means in the world. Of course, there's probably some people off in the woods, but I mean, for this discourse, we have to consider that he's the only worshiper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Remember, his daddy was a chief idol maker, right? And Ibrahim could have had it good, man. He could have grew up like his daddy's Billy Graham or somebody, right? Chief idol maker. He could grow up and he got to run of the show. So after the king, the priesthood is next. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying something to us, and today we want to kind of follow that trend. And what is that trend? Inna Ibrahima kana umatan kanitan lillahi hanifan walam yaku min al-mushrikeen. If we go by this step by step, indeed, Ibrahim was a ummah. Ummah means everybody, all of us, right? But it's not saying this. At this time, Allah is considering, by the revelation, Ibrahim as the ummah. He is the ummah, right? And what the ummah stands for, Ibrahim has to stand for. You see what I'm saying? What the ummah stands for, Ibrahim is standing for. So here's what it says. Inna Ibrahima kana umatan kanitan lillahi. He is standing up for Allah. He is representing the unity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all by himself, right? Hanifan, like Hanafi's Hanif, that means that he's kind of clean, he's kind of pure, devoutly obedient. Hanifan, walam yaku min al-mushrikeen, and he was not of the mushriks. It's clarifying that there's certain things we got to remember now. And we have to remember this right now, especially during this time, during our existence. If the whole world out here got something else in mind, that's their business. If they want to buckle down and bootlick and carry water for the system, that's their business. If they want to look at you, me, I, us as someone abstract or different, you go where? I go with Masjid. Oh, no. Y'all ever had that experience? You go over there, right? It's common. And then sometimes they get brave enough to run down what we do over here. They sacrifice little babies. They shoot dice. They do everything. They praying over a graveyard. I don't know what you heard, but all of those things, that this is a graveyard right here. Now, the lady that was living in the house we own right there, she was 71 at that time, and she had lived there all the time. And I say, has this ever been a graveyard? She said, no, a graveyard is up there. The school was a graveyard, but this right here has never been a graveyard. But you can't, they were saying over certain other, you can't pray over there, man, because they praying on the masjid. The masjid is on a, you know what I mean, on a graveyard. Of course, don't pay no attention to what the Quran and Hadith say, that the world, the globe, the art, what is it? a place for prayer. And if it's been here 4.5 billion years, you know somebody that died, and that's wherever you pray, somebody is buried there, right? Don't worry about that. But anyway, Inna Ibrahim kana umatan kanitan. At this time, he's not paying attention. Everybody else is worshiping plenty of gods, multiplicity of gods. That's what they do. And he's not paying no attention to him because he's under the direction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he's instructed to go through this process, even if it calls for the sacrifice of his son, right? Ismail. He's asked Allah a question. Wakala, and this is Allah saying, and Ibrahim, Inna dhahibun ila rabbi sayahdin. When these questions arise in his heart, he said, I will go to my Lord, he will guide me. In other words, he's trusting in Allah. With all this stuff going on in the community and the neighborhood, he is saying, I will go to Allah, my Lord, and Allah will guide me, right? And this is what he was saying. Allah gave him a son. And of course, commentary says he was 86, and so that means by the time he gets full age, he's about 100 years old. He's an old man, hair's gray, glistening. And the older his son grows, the better he feels, the more proud and happy that he feels because his son is elevating and his son is growing and developing, right? And then he gets a message. I want you to sacrifice your greatest possession. So at the top of his career now, he's challenged, right, with his greatest challenge. Now, if you standing on the sidewalk and fall over, that ain't nowhere. If you standing on the table and fall over, that's one thing. But if you standing on the mountaintop at the highest peak of your career, right, then Allah says, I want you to sacrifice your greatest possession, right? I want you to cut his throat. I want you to put him down on this brick, this altar, hold his head back, pull his hair back, and cut his throat. This is what the Quran says, right? And he's saying what he done already said, Inni dhahibun ila rahbi sayyadin. This is, oh Allah, like, you lead me where I need to go. And Allah leads him there. And he's not bucking. He's not saying, wait a minute, Allah, I'm 100 years old now, and now you want me. You know I ain't going to have no more kids. And now, what kind of trick is this? What's up with you? That's what me and you, that's what we say to Allah. Allah, I've been wanting this Benz and this Cadillac and this, well, not Cadillacs nowadays, Rolls Royces. This Rolls Royce, this big old 7-8 bedroom house out in California, swimming pool, using up all the water that they need. Now I done got that. Now you want me to give it away to poor people or something. That's what what? Ibrahim is not challenging Allah. He's not saying, oh man, this is a white boy said, this is a bummer. That's what white folks say. This is a downer, man. Right? That's what white boys say. Niggas say it too sometimes. This is a downer. In other words, I'm up here real high, and now you bringing me down. Remember when you smoke? I guess y'all don't smoke weed no more. But remember when you get real high, somebody say something stupid, you say, man, don't bring me down. At least that's what we used to say, right? Don't mess up my high, man. That stuff you doing, throwing stuff out the window, acting a fool, you bringing me down. You know, it could be anything. He could not even. And so Ibrahim ain't saying it, man. This is a downer. No, he says, I'm going to turn to my Lord. He's going to guide me. Whatever he guides me to, that's what I'm going to do. That's why this wakala, that means he's saying, Inni dhahibun ila rahbi sayyadin. I will go to my Lord and he will guide me. Sometimes you ask for guidance and you may not, especially the Negro, he don't necessarily like what he asks for. You ever, the sisters wanted to marry this big, beautiful, handsome man, or brothers, that nice, beautiful sister, then you get married, you say, I don't know if I like that Negro. Boy, that boy has got, he's a trip, right? You didn't pray for them. He looks just like what you wanted. He got a little curly hair, he got some nice muscles, he got that deep look, and he's a bum. And you made a bad mistake. But you got what you prayed for. I remember some of the sisters was really, at the age they was wanting children bad, and they was praying, oh Allah, and then Allah gave them a whole crew. And Imam Musa, I don't know. I said, well, did you pray for non-serviceable children, that you didn't have to change diapers, you didn't have to do that? No, I didn't pray for that. Well, you got what you asked for, didn't you? And they thought, yeah, I did. I got exactly well, then what's the problem? You got, Allah, I prayed for this, I wanted to be nice looking, hair like this, maybe some green eyes, anything like that. And then you got her and she was crazy, right? She was just crazy, that's all. She still had green eyes and curly hair and fairly light too, you know, all of that. You prayed for that, you got it, and now you should have been more detailed about it. It's not that Allah didn't know what you wanted, but he gave you what you asked for. So you have your list. From now on, when y'all pray, you go detail. Because Allah just might give you what you want, but it may not be what you need. So anyway, إن الله يحب الذين يقاتلون في سبيله صفا كأنهم بنيان مرصوص. Truly, Allah loves those who fight in his cause in battle array, as if they were a solid cemented structure. Now, here in America, our struggle is somewhat different than other places. And the people that are in a certain region get the jihad or the struggle that they can bear. You know, I remember in Chechnya when they was bombing Grozny, that's up there, the Soviet Union, and the Muslims up there, I mean, they houses was bombed and everything, and they was living up there as sub-zero. I mean, it is really bad up there. But they was doing it because they know that's their environment, right? And Palestinians right now, they build a house, Yahud come by and bulldoze it. They build another, Yahud come by and bulldoze it. Time after time after time. They're being bombed and murdered with the most sophisticated of bombs and weapons. Isn't that right? This is what's happening right now. But they are not giving up on their hope for a unified Palestine. They haven't given up. They're not even thinking about giving up, right? Because Allah gave them that we get behind on our rent and just get thrown out of the house, have our stuff outside, and we about to fall apart. I'm about to die. Right? They can stand it and they get thrown out of a house they just built from the ground up. Then they built it again and built it again. Allah give each group of people what they can usually bear. Now, you and I, we're living here in America, right up under you-know-who. And a lot of people would love to be where we are, but they wouldn't want to be getting what we got before. Because a lot of people, they don't know where we're coming from. They come here, they say, man, the Negroes over there, really, they're, what did white folks say, they're shiftless, they're lazy, they, a few little attributes, characteristics they give us. And if you look right now, you'll see most of the people in the movies right now are Africans from Africa. Right? If you see politicians running right out here, you see Muhammad so-and-so, right? He's from overseas. He haven't experienced America. When he came here, he saw that you wouldn't lift a finger to do nothing. But he haven't lived here all that time and see that every time you reached up to snatch something, they whacked at your hand, they drowned you, they lynched you, they did all of that. So after a while, you may not try no more, or you may cooperate a little bit in the system, right? He don't know that. Now, the same European that worked on me and you was over there killing his parents. They were suffering under colonialism. But he escaped over here, and he thought, oh, I can go do what I want. I can do. And so he goes on out because he don't have a glass ceiling. You know what I mean? And then in the movies, they like him to play the parts of Martin Luther King because the guy playing Martin Luther King may not understand what Martin Luther King was really about. Isn't that right? He read a few books on him. Well, they might have Tuskegee Airmen. They didn't come from here. They understand some of their colonial and post-colonial struggle, but they don't understand the particular struggle that we was involved in. So to us, this is a call for you and I to stand up and do the things that we need to do for ourselves right now. That's why the Quran says, Inna Allaha yuhibbul ladina yukatiluna. Allah loves those people. Now, they use yukatiluna, that means to cut, to struggle, to fight. For here, it don't necessarily mean a physical fight, because right now our job might be something else right now. And we'll talk about that at another time. Yukatiluna. Fi sabilihi, if you do this struggle, fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah, right? For the purpose of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Saffan, ka'annahum bunyanun marsusun, just like you a solid cemented structure, right? That means can't nobody get in between you. You won't allow nobody to come and divide you up. For us, they always got some Negroes want to come and get us to fight with them. In California, they had Negroes in and out of the Masjid trying to start a fight. But I told my sons, because they came there and they said, we'll move on that. They had their whole little crew. I said, you stay out of my business because you don't know what this is about. Right now, them Negroes is in hot water. Very hot water. But we wasn't going to do like, have you noticed, whether it's black gangs, whether it's black, that there's no syndicate of Negroes in the United States, whether legal or criminal. It's one for everybody else. Italians have a syndicate, Jews have a syndicate, right? Irish syndicate, Bugs Moran, them, all them guys, right? No Negro syndicate. Out of all the dope that Negroes sell in the United States, there's no national Negro organization. And I'm not going to tell you, but of course that's what my goal was. But you see what pretty soon I just had to leave. The idea, we're not having no organized Negroes in America. This dope we giving you to sell to all them niggas is to keep them disunified. If you want to fight each other, we'll give both of you all the guns you need. Isn't that right? Long as you shooting each other, but you better not aim nothing you got at me, right? That's almost what they're saying. They don't have it down in words, but that's what they mean. Anywhere in the United States, it will break your heart. Black people laying out in the streets in Chicago and L.A. Well, D.C. is not that good a record of black-on-black cooperation, right? Tell the truth. D.C. used to be the number one, a little old D.C., well, it's a little bigger now. What was it? 400 something, almost 500 Negroes killing each other per year. Sometimes they'd have in the newspaper whole plots and charts. Sometimes 13 Negroes that hit each other and they splattered all over the street, right? And if the police would come right over here, when the Negroes was doing all that, they'd take their guns and throw them in them bushes, them same bushes right over there. Police come, niggas throw the gun in the bushes. Right? The Negroes come, he start unloading on them. Something was wrong with us then, and there's something wrong now. People talk about how tough they are. It's like in the old days. Down in the South, man, that's a bad nigga there. He done killed 19 niggas. I mean, y'all may not be old enough to remember, but it would be a real bad guy in town. He would have killed a lot of blacks. Not a single cracker. Not a single cracker. He ain't even raised his voice at no cracker. Anyway, truly Allah loves those who fight in his cause in battle array as if they were a single solid cemented structure. Fighting in our way, in Allah's way, in this environment may be fighting together against the common enemy, not fighting each other with the same historical background. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Fighting in the cause of Allah here may be fighting the designated enemy. Like they have a designated driver when everybody's drunk. The designated enemy. And we know who that is. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Whether it's the people of Yemen, whether it's the people of Afghanistan, 20-year war, whether it's the people of Iran, whether it's the Hezbollah in Lebanon, all of those are very good people, and they're under a serious... Can you imagine what's happening to the people of Yemen when they're fighting a war and they're the richest Arab country in the world is fighting the poorest Arab country in the world? Saudi Arabia is fighting and backing, right, the war against the people of Yemen. You've seen the pictures. A little child may have an arm big as your finger. You see them on TV, right? And the U.S. is behind that. So, technically we got it good because this is a psychological, ethical struggle we got to do here. So actually, if you had to choose all the struggles, Palestine, Yemen, Iran, Hezbollah, all of that, what they done destroyed all of Syria, they destroyed Libya before, right? For us, for them, that's a physical confrontation. For us, it's a psychological, ethical confrontation, right? That we have to outgrow what we have been taught by the system. Let me get on a minute. Because right here it says, Mata Nasrullah. So the people under so much pressure and what have you, they have a cry, Mata Nasrullah. And then the response is, Ala inna Nasrullahul Kareeb. They cried. They were so pressed under a prophet, and even the prophet and those who were with them cried out at this time. This is right in the 40. When will come the help of Allah? The help of Allah is always near. This is what we have to remember. Not the mumbling and grumbling that the people put on us. Mata Nasrullah. Ala inna Nasrullahul Kareeb. When will Allah's help come? Verily, the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always near. And remember that Ibrahim was tried by his Lord with certain commands which he fulfilled. He said, I will make thee an imam to the nations. He pleaded, and also imams of my offspring? He answered, but my promise is not within the reach of the evildoers. This is when Ibrahim alayhi salam becomes the imam of the nations. That's what Ibrahim, I don't care whether you're Christian, back to Ibrahim, right? If you're a Jew, back to Ibrahim. If you're a Muslim, back to Ibrahim. He's considered, that's why they call those three, the Abrahamic religions. Because at some time during this religious period, everything revolves around Ibrahim. So he was obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna Ibrahim khana umatan. Right? Umatan. Qanitan lillahi. He's a ummah. Umatan. He's ummah. All by himself. In the first part of the khutbah, I'll close with that because that's our lesson. That we're going to return to Allah. And none of these Negroes out here are going to be able to help you on the day of judgment. Not one of them. I don't care. None of the white folks, they're going to be sweating bullets themselves. If you have to stand all by yourself, which is common, as a community, we used to function with everybody. But the position we have, which everybody agrees that it's Islam, 175%, but you're going to make this people mad, that people mad. I might lose my job. The FBI going to come visit. All of that. This is not what the Quran says. Inna Ibrahim kana umatan qanitan lillahi. He stood all by himself. I'm saying to us as a community, bump the Negroes out there. Bump all the Zionists. Because none of them going to get you into heaven, and can't none of them keep you out. Isn't that right? None of them going to get you into paradise, and none of them, including the Negroes, going to be able to keep you out. So what I'm saying is, let's give it a try. Let's give it a shot. You know, let's say, let's hold the Quran up to what it say it'll do, right? Right? But we have to do our part too. And history have proven that when you stand by the Quran will stand by you. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. It's sometimes nice to have a vision of a nice utopian vision. Now the vision that we get about life is dystopian, right? Not utopian. Utopia just means a good place. There's a song we remember, everybody heard it and everybody sung it. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, land that I heard of once in a lullaby. This truth stuff we talking about here sounds like a lullaby, sounds like a dream tale, isn't that right? Sounds like a fairy tale. We're going to make a better world, and we're going to try to do this. And then after you die, if you've been good, you're going to go to heaven. Tell the truth, man. That sounds like a dream tale that you tell little children. You be good. You're going to go up there to heaven. It's going to be nice. If you're bad, there's a guy down there, the pitchfork, he's ugly, he's stroking the fire, right? And people get modern. See, now we living in a modern time. So you got science coming at you, engineering, and artificial intelligence coming at you. And it's saying, y'all believe in that? To tell you the truth, Muslims are doing all right because we stick it. But Christians, you ever notice, is dwindling fast. You know why? Because they're trying to be reasonable and modern. Right? And you're going to believe in the Bible, and it says God made the heavens and the earth, and 6 days, on the seventh day he rested. That's a tired God. Right? And you believe in a God that gets tired? That's what the Bible says, all right? He rested. You rest when you get tired. Don't make sense, right? For us. Because our Quran says the creation of it tired him not. He ain't get tired. He ain't need no sleep. He ain't got none of that going on. But this la-la land is way off somewhere, right? And with all of this whizzy, googly stuff, you got to have some strong psychological utensils to hold on to your deen in the midst of all of this. And everybody trying to pull you over there. Well, that's what we're here to say. We're not going over there. We're not going out to Dar al-Hijra. We go out there to visit. We're not going over to this place or that place. Right? When they come down to instituting the Quran and the Sunnah, right? And traveling in the earth and see what was the end of people before, right? That they learn hikmah, wisdom, right? And then they use what our four things, their reason, right? To do what they're doing at that time. So it sounds like a big joke. Jokes are going to be on them, though. I mean, imagine. Because some people ask us sometime, what I tell them is, they said, you really believe all that stuff? I say, yeah, I'm not only believe it, I'm convinced that it's right. Well, suppose you're wrong. So, well, I'm not taking no chance. You don't tell me to do nothing bad. You don't tell me to get drunk, become an alcoholic, to beat my wife and children. And you don't tell me none of that, right? So all it tells us is good. So I'm not taking no chances, right? Like you take all the chances you want. You can live dangerously, which I believe you might be, living very dangerous. But I'm not going to do it. Okay. So this closing statements, we've been archivists, documentalists, chroniclers, historians, educators, and trainers. We've been trying to collect and preserve a certain historical reality. And we have. And now we want to share that with the people. It's going to take a lot of willpower, a lot of fortitude, a lot of tenacity, tenaciousness. We're going to have endurance. You know, in Spanish, duro means hard, right? Duro, muy duro. Endurance means that you have to become very resistant, hard against that foolishness, right? But soft against goodness. We should get a resistance award here, that we've been able to resist. I mean, I know everybody don't understand it, But we done resisted boss man and everything they got to throw at us, and it ain't causing us no harm. No physical harm, no psychological harm. And anything that happens that looks bad, don't worry. Before closing, what's boss man look like today? Big boss man, remember? Boss man economy, where's it headed? In a tank. When the last time boss man won a war? Before any of y'all was born. He lost in Korea. That was 1950 to 51. I don't think 53. He lost that. The last war that boss man won was when everybody else in the war was fighting over there 2 times. Remember World War I? Is fighting in Europe for 3 years. 1914, 15, 16, and 17. Boss man come in 1918. Right? And whoop everybody. And then he gets big. World War II, 1939 they started. Technically, some of it started, the Japanese against China, 1931. But 1937, the rape of Nanking in China, 1937. But 1939, U.S. didn't get into the war until December 7th, 1941. That's years later. Everybody else is tired in both wars. They're already they're in their 5th or 6th round. And they tired already. Boss man come in, jumping up and down, building ships, and he just whoops everybody and takes everything. That's the last time he won anything. Right? When that war was over in 1945, I was about a few months old. Yeah, I was a few months old. So I didn't see it, but I was there. Right? That's the last time, and you see what I look like. I'm a senior citizen, 76 years old. That's the last time boss man done whooped anybody in the ring. The last time. He lost in Korea, 1950 to 1953. He lost in Vietnam. Y'all seen it in movies on Vietnam? When the people is hanging on them helicopters on top of the U.S. Embassy? The Vietnamese trying to get away, right? And the Americans pushing them off. You can't go with boss man. Boss man gone. Bye-bye. But I helped you, boss man. I loved you. I gave everything. My kids are here. I don't care. You got to stay here with them Reds, them commies. But we've been fighting them all the time. That's too bad. Ain't nothing I can do. My hands is tied. That's what they tell you. So Vietnam, the Gulf War, he might have made a little noise during old Bush's time, but he got stuck in Iraq and come crawling out. Isn't that right? Crawling out. And here he comes now, crawling out of Afghanistan. Don't worry, he's causing a lot of fitna, but what I'm trying to tell you, boss man haven't won nothing in a long time. The same age I am, 76 years old, he ain't whooped nobody in 76 years. You don't think he's got a little out of shape, right? Every fight he get in, he kills tons of people and don't win nothing. Right? He just slaughters people and don't win nothing. We would say Islam is on our side, time is on our side. Dear believers, we wish you all a wonderful Eid Mubarak. 95% of ability is stickability. To hold on, to guard and protect. And don't take, I'm going to close, don't take none of these. Because I looked at it, I said, man, you take this thing back. Then I thought about it. I said, I'm going to show it to everybody. I said, give me that back. How much money you needed? So I gave him this. I took this and I gave him $30, $70, just to have a counterfeit. You know, not that I know anything about counterfeit, but look at the colors. Good God Almighty. If you walk by the bank or a store with this, the thing gonna pick it up in your pocket and slam you cuffs on you and run you off to jail. Without ever even it still be in your pocket. This is such bad money. The sign is, I don't care how much you feed the Negro. I don't care how much you cuddle him. He stayed here all last 10 nights of Ramadan fully fed. Now, we ain't bragging, but, we try to feed people a little bit. Make it comfortable. You need a pillow there, right? Then when you leave Imam Musa, I want to leave you something. I want to get some change. I got $100. I looked at it, the brothers was looking too. They said, man, you going to take that? I said, yes, I'm going to take it. Because at first I didn't. I gave it back to him and I said, give me another one. And I tore the other one. He didn't even say nothing. I just tore it. It had to be counterfeit. It looked like this. That means whatever good you do it for the cause of Allah. You don't do it for what Negroes do. You ain't going to never do no. If you do it because Negroes treat you right, you in trouble. Tell the truth. If you do good to a Negro and go mark it down on your notebook that I did this nigga good, did that nigga good, and you stand by the bank or wherever waiting for them to come out and give you something for you did them good, right? Or give you a sandwich, or peanut butter or something, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Dear believers, let's do good because Allah commands good and justice. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. O Allah, we seek thy refuge from anxiety and grief. We seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness. We seek thy refuge from cowardice and niggardliness. We seek thy refuge from being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. Eid Mubarak, everybody. Okay, we're going to have a little whatever we have over here. And yes, the sisters, y'all can roll on over now. Okay. I don't know if y'all are used to them, what's the names we used to have? Banana date shakes. Anybody ever had any of those? Guess not. We got some over here, and just bear with us a while if we can get some cups. Eid Mubarak, everybody, huh? Yeah, if somebody bring up some